How do? New haircut. Thanks, Lauren. I'm currently trapped in the back seat of our car. I had to move seats around because we're going to go pick up my grandma for her birthday, and I shut the door behind me and I thought, oh, brilliant, I'm trapped here now. What better time than to make another video, because I've left you hanging. Apologies for that. Life gets in the way, you know what it's like. Anyway, where were we? So I was cannulaed. I was stabbed by multiple women in a hospital. I was cannulaed. That cannula wasn't to draw blood, because apparently that was impossible. My blood wasn't coming out. The cannula was to put dye in my veins, so that when I'm in the MRI machine, they could see where my blood vessels were. I can only assume it's liquid metal, which they put in, so that the magnets of the MRI can see where my blood vessels are. Dead smart, but don't ask me, I'm no radiographer. We walked straight past M into the MRI room. And the MRI room was filled with physicists. There was about 7, 8, maybe 10. I wasn't introduced to them all, but like 10 physicists. I was told they were physicists. I was expecting brain surgeons, physicists. And the king of the physicists, I can only assume that's who he was, came out and met me, and he shook my hand. He said, right, what we're going to do is we're going to do some functional scans of your brain. And what I'm going to do is, inside the machine, you're going to be able to see a screen, and on that screen you will see a letter, a random letter, and I want you to think of as many different words as you possibly can. Then we're going to show you another letter, and then I want you to think of as many, he really went to town explaining something quite simple. I was like, I get it. You're going to show me a letter, and I've got to think of as many words as you can. Yes, don't say it out loud. We are looking to see what is firing in your brain. I went, okay, we can do that. Afterwards, we're going to show you words. Not letters, words. Similar sort of concept. I want you to think of as many different... Now, here's what I can't remember. Did he say adverbs, verbs, adjectives? I can't remember. The example he gave me was, I think, foot and, like, ball was another example. So foot and ball, I get it. And then he said, right, and then we'll be done. And I said, so... what about, like, moving my hands? What about moving my fingers? I'm a drummer. I need to move my hands and my fingers. Oh, my God, will I be able to walk? And he said that where it is in your brain won't affect your gross motor. So don't worry. We're just looking at your processing and how you process words and stuff. So I was like, oh, that's dead smart. That's quite cool. So in I went. I went into the machine and I put earplugs in and headphones on. And they put on these periscope goggle things, because if I'm laying down, I had to see the screen at the end of so periscope goggles. Very cool. And on that screen, it simply said, black screen with white writing, please wait, the next scan is being prepared. And oh man, I was staring at that screen for the best part of 45 minutes. Please wait, the next scan is being prepared. Please wait, the next scan is being prepared. I mean, if there's a bit of advice to any radiographers, put pictures of cats on that screen or something, or rainbows, just something nice. Look at the sun almost burning my face. So yeah, I was just staring at them words for ages and ages and ages. And I was being a little statue man. Now I thought that the headphones would play music. No. The only reason I was wearing headphones was so that the radiographers could go, are you okay in there, Adam? Yeah, I'm fine. Okay, you're going to start the MRI now. Okay, start the MRI, then that's fine. And I was sat like a little statue, man. I wasn't moving. My head was encased in like a special pillow thing. And I was just sitting completely still. Finally, the letters came on the screen. And here we go. Letter number 1 was A. Adam, apple, aardvark, antelope, anchovies. And I wasn't saying it out loud, I was thinking of all these words. And then it gave me a bit of a breather. And then it's popped up the second random letter. B, ball, bush, boobies. I was thinking of all these different B words. Okay, what's the next letter going to be? C. Oh, very random. Very random. It was just doing the alphabet. It got up to about D and then it changed. I was waiting for K. Kumquat was going to be the K. No K. It then started like randomizing it. And it only did a few, maybe like 5 or 6 different letters. But I don't think it was very random. Maybe you could argue that maybe it was A, B, C, D, and then it went to like M. Then the words came up, and I couldn't remember if he said adverbs, adjectives, or verbs. So words started flashing up on screen, and I tried to do all 3. So shoe, foot, kicking, wet, leather. Then the next word came up. Wet shoe. The next word came up, like, I don't know, plant. I was like, right, tree, garden centre, green. Trying to think of adjectives, adverbs, and all three. It was a bit of a nightmare, and I was scared that maybe I'm doing this wrong. Maybe I overthought it, I don't know, but still laying like a little statue, man. I was not moving at all. Then they started like saying through the little headphones, okay, Evan, we're gonna do the die now. Okay, so hopefully I'm plugged into this machine in my cannula now. I should be able to feel my arms going warm and tingly. I didn't, but I could smell it. I could smell the dye going in, and I thought, oh, goodness me, I've just had all this faff and palaver with the cannulas. Does that mean that it's actually leaking and it's going over my clothes? I can't move. Remember, I'm a statue man. I can smell it. Oh my God. I didn't want to squeeze the emergency thing in case like I just aborted the whole thing and I'd have to be in there for even longer. So I just went with it. Remember, statue man, just sitting like a statue man. Please wait whilst the next scan is loaded. Oh my God. I was staring at the spacing of letters because I was so bored just staring. The only thing I could see in my periscope goggles was please wait whilst the next scan is loaded. Oh man, I stared at that for hours. It wasn't hours, it was several minutes. And I was looking at all the spacing between the letters and just trying to like make random words out of the letters I could see. So remember, put pictures up there. Maybe just, I don't know, show black and white movies, just anything, just to keep me entertained. But I was nice and still, and finally the MRI was finished and I got out and I said, how did I do? And she went, well, you moved a bit. What? I did not move. I was a statue man. I was sat like a little statue man. I was so conscious not to move. And she went, oh, it could have just been the vibration of the machine. Well, yeah, maybe. I was still. I was really, really still. And I said, what about like did the cannula work? Because I could smell the dye. She went, you could smell it. And I went, yeah. I said, my arm didn't go warm and tingly. She went, no, I think the dye worked. You could smell it. What did it smell like? And I went, just chemicals. It had a chemical. She went, could you taste it? And I went, no. So I don't know. Maybe that's the way my weird body works. Okay, I can smell dye going into my blood. Apparently it worked. And the lady just went, right, thanks, we'll be in touch. And I went, oh, apparently we'll be in touch. So there you go. That was the fun MRI thing. Oh my God, look at this, 7.5 minutes. All right, I'm probably gonna have to like smash this window. I'm getting very warm now. Okay, have a hat day.